Hello and namaste from Mumbai. I'm very excited to share with you that this December we are launching the advanced course on classical homeopathy. So, all the homeopaths out there, students, interns, early practitioners, students anywhere, this is the thing you need to join. It's a weekend course, online course. You can sit at home and learn. In today's times, the world has been online. We are going to be talking about 100 polycrest remedies, also rare remedies, organon, repertorisation techniques, advanced level of case taking. Also, we'll also talk about how to use mother tinctures, organ remedies, biochemics. It's going to be one of its kind. Homeopaths across the world are going to be teaching also in this, and I'm working on the content of it very closely with the best minds in homeopathy. So I really want every single one of you to join us, be a revolution in this field. I'm also going to give a lot of homework to all of you, so be ready for a lot of training sessions with me. Also, there is an early bird offer, so if you register earlier, you will get it at a major discounted rate. And if you already attended my last course, you'll also kind of in this early bird offer, you'll also get the last course, that is the 6-month classical homeopathy course, as a guest access. We are going to increase it for 6 months. So you'll also attend the last course plus this course. So it's going to be close to about 200 hours of classical homeopathy at your fingertips for the next 7-8 months. It's going to be one of its kind. So if you want to be a genuinely good homeopath and a clinician, this 200 hours will take you to the next level. So forget everything else. Forget the Netflix, forget the Amazon Prime, forget the movies, forget the stories. Classical homeopathy at its best. Just email on the below email ID, register, be a part of revolution. Every single one of you listening, hand on heart, join us. So we are talking about a case of ankylosing spondylitis today. And ankylosing spondylitis is one of these diseases which is very difficult to treat with modern medicine. But with homeopathy, there is a very good scope where we can really help the patient to reduce the suffering. And as you know that depending on the type of case, depending on the constitution, depending on the immune system of the person, the response is different. So that's why when patients come to me and tell me, my doctor has told me that this is never cured, or I have been given these many days, I think that it's a good idea for homeopath to explain the patient that how every human being is different, and that's why the immune system is different, and that is why the response is different, and that's why the so-called reaction or the course of disease, the pace of disease is very different. So there is hope. So let's start with the case for today. This was a very interesting case I saw. Case of a man about, let me show you his initial reports. He had come with a fairly high ESR and CRP. And if you see his MRI, shows massive degeneration, abnormalities, spondyloarthropathy. Serological investigations were also suggested, which he also did. Early disc disease and ligamentum flavum thickening. So these were the few clinical parameters which were there in the MRI. And as you know, it's HLA-B27, so on. So 30-year-old man actually comes to see us. Comes, brings the report in front of us and says, "This is it, doctor." And he's a very simple guy. He's a carpenter. comes from a very basic background, says that, I have this problem, and the allopathy doctor says that not much can be done. I've heard about your treatment. What do I do? So let's see how we studied the case. You have to see how I studied the case step by step, okay? So everything started in 2010, about 10 years back. There was a lot of pain in the left lumbar region. When I asked to describe the pain, it was a bony type of pain, lot of continuous and tearing pain. This pain would be aggravated at night, aggravated by drinking cold drinks, ameliorated by touch and walking. There would be a lot of pain initially with fever and stiffness. The peculiarity was that the pain would start from the knee and feet and go upwards towards the back. He said, this was the main first symptom. He said, this was the first symptom of my case. That pain would start from the feet and the knee and it would go upward. Pain is going upward. This is the first symptom before even he met a doctor or even before he did any investigation, anything like that. So this is the first kind of symptom that we have. And then he did some investigations and that's how he got diagnosed. He has very high thirst. He feels more hungry in afternoon and typically more towards the noon time. He loves fried food. Typically, he likes milk, spicy food. His sweat is very offensive and more on the forehead. And he likes to sleep on the sideways, sometimes on the abdomen also. I ask him that, can you tell me about yourself? And he keeps looking at me. He says, nothing as such, I am okay. I say, okay. Tell me about your nature, temperament. And he says, he looks at me again and he says, okay, no, but only this much, nothing else. He says that when I came to know about disease, I was a little negative, but now I'm okay. ठीक है, चलता है, ठीक है, it is okay. That's what he says. Can you tell me what dreams you get? He says, I get dreams someone is pressing my neck. And I wake up from a startle. I start from the dream. I get scared and I startle. Do you get any fear, anything like that? He says, nothing as such. Anything else? He says, one thing is I am very hungry. I feel hungry frequently. And if I don't have food for some time, I get pain in the abdomen. I asked him, tell me about your childhood, what it was for you. What was the initial time for your life? He says, I come from a very simple background. I didn't have enough money. So it used to bother me that I'd have no money, I have nothing. What will happen? What will happen? So, but it was okay. Everyone around me was also not having enough money. So I couldn't do anything. So it's okay now, he says. I asked him, okay, tell me more about your stress, about your sensitivity. He keeps looking at me. He says, doctor, I'm okay. This is the report. See if you can treat me. So this is the case in short. So, what will you do? This is the case in short. We have this guy with the whole ankylosing spondylitis with a lot of pain, and we have to help him. Now, you already have the case. What would be the case analysis? What would be the rubrics you take, and what would be the remedy? Let me know. So you can write the rubrics with the reason and the remedy on the Zoom webinar chat right now. Let's see. Hello, I'm waiting for you to suggest me some answers. Okay, so there are some answers here. Lycopodium by Shefali. Okay, Karina. Okay, Rosmin, Saima. Larissa says indifferent. Okay, Larissa. Evashia says talk aversion to. Okay. You know, Evashia Maya in Mumbai and in India, there are many patients who do not talk much. You know, their level of experience is very low. So, so what? So what to do in these cases? Garima says coculus. Okay. Genal Tatad says pain from knee to back. Good observation, Genal. Sujata, Larissa. Okay. What would you do? Saiman Shahut, self-made nature lycopodium. Okay. Archana says iodum. Okay. Some more suggestions. Rustox. Okay. Jane says sepia. Linda says, I think she's saying lacaninum. Okay. Mayuri. Okay. Rina. Maybe silica. Okay. Rustox. Sulfur. Natrum sulfur. I'm more than the remedy. I'm more interested in knowing the approach. No, how do we approach this case? So let's see. So what is the main symptom in the case? Yeah, the main symptom in the case is this is what is called the anchor, the most solid symptom in the case. That's what I try to do in this case. That the pain starts in the feet and it is extending upwards, isn't it? This is the main symptom in the case, and this has only 20 remedies. So our remedy should have this because this is a very peculiar symptom. This is what I want to teach you. You have to learn to, probe deeper and then find that exact symptom. That's the whole thing. I want to train you all in this. I want to train each and every one of all the 500 doctors who are watching this course. Just how to pick up peculiarities. So once I get this is my first rubric. Now, what is the next rubric? What is the next? Now we will try to understand what is the peculiar symptom in the case. Okay. The next peculiar symptom is that fasting aggravates. Right? So you can see fasting aggravates. Fasting aggravates the abdomen pain. No. What else? Appetite. Appetite is more when? When is the appetite more? Appetite increase when? In the noon, no? For him. Very good. Perspiration. Perspiration is very offensive. Yes, you're right. What else? What else do you see in this case? Yes, starting from dreams. No? What is the symptom? Starting. Dekho. Starting from dreams. Dekho. Okay? Starting from dreams. Mila? Yeah. What else? What else do you see is peculiar in the case? Anything else? Yes, then we have some cravings, no? What is the craving? You like fried food. So, fried, how do we take fat? Bra? Fat food desire. And yes, and spicy. Desire for spicy. See, in this case, the mind symptoms are not very prominent. You know? So I'm not putting that in the rubric sheet, because if you should only take the symptom in the repertory which is more solid, more specific, more intense. When I look at this rubrics, can you see all of this? Yeah. And when I put this, what do you think will come? Yes, only one remedy. Only one remedy comes through and through. What's the remedy? Yes, we are talking about the king of antisorics, the great homeopathic remedy, sulfur. We are going to talk about a very, very kind of well-known remedy, but I'm going to teach you how to use it in clinical practice and how we often miss to use this remedy. Okay. But did you see how I kind of reached here? That is very important. How I reached here. The idea is not this patient is sulfur. The idea is if you understand the technique. What did I do? I looked at the most peculiar symptom of the case. That is the original unmodified picture. So pain in the feet, you can see very nicely. Yeah. And then extending upward. So this, this kind of rubric is my most important rubric in the case for now. Okay. And there are many remedies here: rhydum, sulfur, silica. But then I look at all the other symptoms. This is the technique I want to teach you. So this is what I did. What did I give him? Let's see, what did I give? So I gave him sulfur LM1 2 times a day for 3 days. This is an LM potency. So many chronic cases. Okay, many chronic cases. I told you, many chronic cases. I start with LM1. Okay, just you have to give probably 2 times a day for 3 days. This is one of the techniques of dosing in chronic cases. And then wait and watch. Okay, so beautifully, just within 2 months, the pain situation almost improved by 70 to 80%. Okay, this guy was in extreme pain. His CRP, ESR reduced to almost half. Okay, CRP was 5, it came to 1. ESR from 24, it came to 15. Gradually, his symptoms, his pain, his suffering still started reducing. He's still under my treatment. I'm still treating him with sulfur only, but he has felt remarkably same. So rubric, you want to see the rubrics again? Okay, I will show you the rubrics. Have a look. This is what it is. And what happened after that? Have a look at the investigation reports. You can see how the ESR improved and how beautifully the CRP levels, etc. improved. And mean is patient was much free of his suffering and pain.